So later this evening, Joe Biden is going to reveal his plan for the new economic relief bill. I am going to highlight for you what I believe he is going to include in it. I'm also going to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to that plan being issued off to the Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, and the chances that they're actually going to pass it, change it, and eventually get it back to Joe Biden to sign it. So this is what I think is going to be in it. It's going to be right around a $2 trillion bill. This is not a crazy statement. Most people are already reporting that number. I believe there's going to be around $400 billion for more stimulus checks to the American people. I believe those stimulus checks are going to be $1,400 stimulus checks. I also believe it's going to include dependents, and I also believe it's going to include a dependents from the last bill. So if you didn't get money because you're an adult dependent from the last stimulus check, I think you're going to get that because it's going to be included in. It's probably going to expand the amount of people that can get stimulus checks as well. There's going to probably be around $100 billion for vaccines, hospitals, testing, tracing, and treatment. There's going to probably be around $500 billion for state and local government. I believe he's going to include that in there, and I think it's going to be a big number. I think there's going to be around $200 billion for businesses and business-related programs. I think there's going to be $300 billion for unemployment and unemployment-related programs. I believe there's going to be around $100 billion for housing, renting, and landlords, and I believe there's going to be around $400 billion of miscellaneous funding in there to bring the number around $2 trillion. So here's the good news with this, and there is some bad news too, so wait for it. Once he reveals his plan tonight, that can then be issued off to Nancy Pelosi and the leaders in the House. They will take that plan and they will change it up. They're not going to go exactly with what he has. I'm sure they're going to put in a little bit more pork here and there. They're going to up some numbers, lower some numbers, and do what they got to do to get it passed through the House. Continuing on the good news, the House of Representatives can work on this almost immediately because they're already done with their impeachment hearings. Almost in record fashion, they impeached President Donald Trump in days. So that's over and done with. The House can now work on economic relief for the American people. The impeachment process, though, is going to work its way over to the Senate, but that's okay because the House can work on the economic relief bill and the Senate can deal with impeachment. I don't believe President Donald Trump is going to get impeached in the Senate because they need a 2/3 majority. You're talking about 67 people to vote for impeachment. I don't think it's going to happen. Once the House approves its final stimulus bill package, which will be around $2 trillion, and based off of what Joe Biden is going to reveal today, it's then going to make it over to the Senate for the much harder battle. And here's the bad news. They are not going to do a standalone bill for stimulus checks to the American people. At least everything right now is pointing to another massive bill with stimulus checks included within that bill, and that's going to be a problem in the Senate because the Senate needs 60 votes. And we already know that there are some Democrats who are giving pause at spending this kind of money, and that's not to mention the Republicans. So are they really going to be able to get 60 votes for another $2 trillion bill? I think it's going to be extremely difficult. I think that there's going to be back and forth. I don't know that the votes are actually going to be there, and they're going to funnel it back to the House. Then we're going to start to get into some interesting topics because I guarantee you if they cannot get this through the Senate, they are going to be talking about budget reconciliation, which was a plan that was designed in the 1980s to pass through bills in the Senate by only a majority vote. And even a majority vote in the Senate is going to be difficult with Democrats giving a pause. So I am not necessarily saying that this is going to happen. I really wish they would do a standalone bill for stimulus checks to the American people. But these politicians, they never want to do the right thing. The Democrats did the right thing a few weeks ago with the Cash Act. They did the right thing. And by the way, McConnell did the wrong thing by not putting it to the Senate floor. The Republican did the wrong thing. The Democrats did the right thing by passing it through. Now the Democrats have an opportunity to do another standalone bill like the Cash Act, but now they're going to use their political leverage to put it in a big bill, which is ultimately going to lead to its probable downfall in the Senate. The blame game is going to go out. They're going to try and change things around. They're probably going to use budget reconciliation and just get a majority vote. And then they're going to have to twist arms in the Democrats to get everyone to vote for it. Wait for it tonight. Joe Biden is going to be revealing his plan. Tomorrow, I'll give you a little bit more details on it. And based off of what he says, maybe a little bit more of a clear picture on how this is going to proceed through the House and the Senate. Maybe he might mention something about a standalone bill and not including the stimulus checks in this big $2 trillion thing. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. Anything can happen. We'll continue to keep you up to date here as always. I will catch you next time.